I'm Giulietta, and I work for the Walloon Regional Administration. And I'm also part of the coordination unit of Circular Wallonia, which is the regional strategy for the deployment of circular economy in Wallonia. So I'm here, so during the day you will have the chance to discover some concrete projects and initiatives on circularity on the textile sector. And I'm here to give you more of an overview of what it is done in Wallonia at a regional level, and to show you how the textile sector plays a really important role in the circular economy strategy in Wallonia. So Circular Wallonia is led by the Minister of Economy, and it is also supported by the Minister of Environment and the Minister of Employment, and it is coordinated by a coordination unit, as I said, which I'm part of. So why did Wallonia decide to go towards circularity through this strategy? Well, because Wallonia wanted to have it had the ambition to go towards a carbon neutral economy, a resilient and inclusive economy, and it also wanted to stimulate innovation. So in order to do so, there are many strategic objectives that we would like to achieve through this strategy. Here you can find on the slide only a few examples, like replacing fossil fuels by renewable available resources by 2050, or reducing the direct raw material input by 25%, or increasing the number of Walloon jobs that are contributing on circular economy by 20% by 2025. Those are just a few examples. There are many other strategic objectives that we want to achieve to go towards a transition, an economical and sustainable transition of our economical system. An important thing to say about the Circular Wallonia strategy is that it is working in coordination with other European levers, such as the European Green Deal or the Recovery and Resilience Facility, the Green Deal, the Green Digital Transition, or other European levers that share some ambitions and objectives with Circular Wallonia. So it is really important for us to be coherent with other European programs and plans. So the discussions about the development of a strategy on circular economy in Wallonia started at the beginning of 2020. And this was highly inspired by the European Green Deal that also had developed a European Circular Economy Action Plan. So Circular Wallonia and its measures are highly inspired by the measures of this European Action Plan, but of course it is adapted to the Walloon economical situation. So starting from that moment, a collaborative process took place through a public consultation or the consultation of the partners of Wallonia to try and meet as much as possible the needs of the economical actors on the ground until February 2021, when the strategy was adopted by the government of Wallonia. So we are at the moment within the first year since the adoption of the strategy. So in the first few months since its adoption, and we are starting to launch some of its measures. So now let's go more into the heart of Circular Wallonia. My objective here is to give you just a really short overview of what are the focuses of this strategy. So you can see on the image on the slide that there are 5 specific fields of action that Circular Wallonia is focusing in on. And through those fields of action, there are 10 ambitions that we want to meet through the development of 60 precise measures. So of course, I won't go through all of them, but I will just give you some examples to what we are working on the different fields of action. So for example, the first field of action is concentrating on the production and provision of circular goods and services. Here, we really want to support enterprises to go towards circularity, so to go towards new innovating business models, and we want to support them in their implementation of circular concepts such as sustainable supply, eco-design, or industrial symbiosis. So in order to do so, the Walloon region is strengthening financial tools to support financially those enterprises. Wallonia is strengthening the enterprises network. We are actually working at the moment at the development of a digital tool that really wants to support and stimulate collaborations and partnerships between innovating actors in the region and in the Walloon region. And Wallonia really wants to focus on digital transition. That is a main key for accelerating the circular economy deployment. Wallonia also wants to focus a lot of attention on innovation and on being a leader on a European scale concerning circularity. So the strengthening of existing tools to support research, development and innovation projects is being done, as well as the stimulation of creativity and innovation and the creation of new value chains. And we really also want to support the participation of Walloon's actors on European and international programs and networks. A third point concerning this field of action is that a strong focus on bio-based economy is developed in the region. The second field of action is focusing on the consumption and demand of circular goods and services. So here we really want to empower consumers, so to empower citizens and enterprises to have access to circular goods and services. So in order to do so, Wallonia is strengthening some regional initiatives on circular procurement, such as repair cafes, second-hand shops, but also collaborative consumption platforms or communities. And its ambition is also to strengthen the adoption of actions at a Belgian, but also at a European level to strengthen circular procurement. At the regional level, we are also going to work on the implementation of circular criteria in public procurement. Concerning the third field of action, it is dealing with the mobilization of stakeholders. So here, the idea is to inform and educate all the stakeholders on the circular economy subject. So in order to do so, a communication strategy will be developed really shortly through, for example, development of our website, but also through the development of the digital tool, the digital cartography that I already mentioned. Our work will also be done on the increase of the knowledge and the competencies on circular economy in collaboration, for example, with schools and universities by adding some specific courses on circular economy in those. As I said at the beginning, the strategy Circular Wallonia is coordinated by a coordination unit, and this coordination unit has big responsibility to ensure a strategic and political follow-up of the strategy, but also to ensure a follow-up of the different measures and the different actions that are described in the strategy. So we have the responsibility, for example, to monitor the results and to give some propositions to adapt the actions and measures based on the results of the monitoring. The fourth field of action is mainly concentrating on waste resources. So here, our main objectives are to make waste prevention and to improve the knowledge surrounding waste resources. So, for example, we would like to improve the knowledge over the quality and the quantity of material flow within the region. Another ambition is to increase the policy of sorting at source and prevention of waste. So we really want to maximize the reuse and recycling and finding other solutions to add value to waste. The fifth and last field of action is focusing on some priority value chains. So the Walloon government identified during the conception of the strategy, some priority value chains that had a great potential in circular economy in the region Wallonia. So you can find them on the board. so as I said, they were identified for the great potential that they had in Wallonia, but also they were identified to be coherent with other European programs. So at the beginning, I mentioned the European Circular Economy Action Plan. So we are coherent with the priority of the strategy too. So you can find them on, you can find the priority on the slide. We are talking about bio-based economy, construction and buildings, water, plastic materials, metallurgy, food industry and systems, and finally textiles. So you see that the textile sector is a main priority for the circular economy strategy in Wallonia. So why was the textile industry identified as a Walloon priority? I already said that it was mostly also to be coherent with a European context, but there are, and you know it better than me, there are many challenges that the textile sector has to face. So the way that textile is produced, distributed, and used today is not sustainable anymore. It has some social and environmental disadvantages at every step of its value chain, and also concerning the materials that are concerned. It will also have some economical limitations due to the fact that some materials are not sustainable anymore, also for the high prices and for the dependence of some of the materials to the importation from other foreign countries. And also the textiles, how they, the way they are produced today are really difficult to recycle. So those are some examples of why Wallonia decided to give a priority to this sector. There are other reasons. So I already said that we wanted to be coherent with a European context, and that the government saw a great potential in circular economy. On one hand, because of the amount of materials that is present in the region and that could be reused or recycled. But also it has a great potential because of the amount of actors that are working in this sector in the region and that are competent and ready to find new solutions to change our economical system in the textile sector. So for the moment, Wallonia has many challenges for the textile sector concerning circularity. And we really want to work from an upstream position. So trying to stimulate innovating business models such as product service system, but also starting to trying to promote eco-design. But we're also going to work from a downstream position. So trying to stimulate reuse and improve collecting and sorting and creating more remanufacturing value chains. So here I will just give you some examples of the main ambitions for the textile sector in Wallonia that are described in Circular Wallonia strategy. And I'm doing so by using this image that shows the textile value chain, starting from the material sourcing until the collection and sorting after at the end of life of a product. So concerning material sourcing, Circular Wallonia is going to work on the development of offer of natural, recycled and bio-based fibers for textile materials. So for example, in Wallonia, there's a huge potential for some innovating materials such as hemp or linen, for example. Another ambition concerning more the production is trying to promote eco-design by the development of the study of new materials using some specific tools such as life cycle assessment or RDI support, and also by training textile designers. Another ambition is trying to develop more circular business models, such as remanufacturing chains or reuse and repair of collected textiles. Work will also be done on public procurement by adding circular criteria. And finally, work will be done on the improvement of textile sorting and collecting through the development of a more specific labeling. So those are just some general ambition of what are the ambitions for Wallonia in the next few years. So to end my presentation, I will just show you how does Wallonia can make sure that those ambitions are met within the strategy. Well, first of all, we are working with TCBL, who's organizing also the workshop today. So the research center TCBL, who was identified by the Walloon government to be the textile value chain coordinator. So it means that TCBL has the responsibility to try and find innovative solution to try and meet the ambitions about the textile sector that are described within the strategy. So a coordinator has many missions and many actions. So for example, based on the ambitions of Circular Wallonia, it has to develop an action plan, to monitor the action plan, and to facilitate a task force. This task force, you can see on the right, is composed by many different actors, really different from each other, but they are all working on the textile industry. So we can find, for example, some research centers, federations, enterprises, competitiveness clusters, or public administrations. And their role is to work together to find innovative solutions to implement circularity in the textile sector. So TCBL, the coordinator, has to facilitate this task force, and it also has to make sure that some symbiosis and collaborations are made with European projects and actions and with other sectors. And to end the presentation, I will just show you how Wallonia can support directly enterprises that want to go towards circularity. So there are many different ways. Wallonia can ensure guidance, personalized support and financing. In Wallonia, there are many financial tools or public aids, and also a network of circular economy experts that can support enterprises. There are many calls for projects that are organized directly from the regional administration, but also from partners to support innovating projects. Wallonia is supporting innovation by supporting digital solutions and pilot projects. It also wants to involve Walloon actors in European and international programs. We also have many, some trainings about circular economy that are addressed to enterprises. And finally, Wallonia really wants to give visibility to actors that are developing innovative projects through our website, for example, or through the digital tool that I already mentioned several times. But it is really important for us because it really wants to be a way to identify innovating actors and innovating projects on circular economy within the region to accelerate collaborations and symbiosis between actors. So this is the end of my presentation. I hope that I managed to give you a general overview of what it is done in Wallonia about circularity on the textile sector. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me or my colleagues. You can find our email addresses on the slide. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Giulietta. I think the plan which Wallonia has put in place is well structured. Of course, it is an ambitious plan with many challenges, but this is not different from other regions where the challenges are maybe, there are also challenges, but maybe different challenges because of the landscape and the economical system. But thank you very much. I would like to pose the same question. If you would say in one sentence, what is the takeaway for the participants? I know this is also challenging. It's a simple question, but a challenging.
Okay. I really think that to go towards and to meet the ambitions of the strategy, we really have to support and give faith to the local entrepreneurs that have many innovating ideas. So we really have to try and support as much as possible those local entrepreneurs that are and their creativity to go towards circularity.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
thank you very much.